New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's show. Welcome to Caring for Caregivers. My name is Donna Davis, and I am one half of your Phoenix is Rising. I'm also a practitioner at Center for Spiritual Living, Ocala, a registered nurse, a Reiki master. What else do? I do all kinds of stuff. And you know why? Because I'm multifaceted, and I feel like everybody should do multiple things. So that is why I decided when I was in the trenches with COVID as a frontline nurse that we needed to care for our caregivers, those of us who give of ourselves and continuously keep giving. I'm talking about nurses, doctors, therapists, techs, people who work in even the restaurant industry. Do you know what you do when you bring a plate of food to a table and serve them and feed them? You are caring for someone and you need to replenish your soul. Moms, you know what you are doing. Dads, you know what you're doing. Grandparents who are doing it. We are all caring for someone who is vulnerable, someone who cannot care for themselves. And for those of us who have to do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because you have someone who's vulnerable in your life, like a parent, like I did with my mom, or you choose it as a profession like I did as a nurse, you have to replenish your energy. And that's why we have this show. What are some of the things that we have done in the past to care for ourselves in the moment while you're feeling it, while you're in the muck? What is some of the things that you can do? And sometimes when you step out of your job, for example, off the floor as a nurse, what can you then do to be able to replenish your soul? And that's why we have this show, Caring for Caregivers. And today's aspect of caregiving is, dun, da, da. If you notice, I'm all by myself, y'all. Norma is not with me because this is not her wheelhouse. Norma is a Serafina person, but we're talking today about pets. That's right, pets, and how important it is sometimes to have a furry companion. When you are going through stuff, they just help to help buffer that energy. And so today we're going to be talking about that. Pets. I have Serafina, and I will introduce her here in a minute for those of you who don't know Serafina yet. But before we even do any of that, let's go ahead and step into a centering moment. So join me, if you will, if you got a little bit of essential oils. Let's see here. I got some lavender. See my lavender. Yes. That's so good. I'm going to get a couple drops of lavender here. Listening to the birds outside, smelling the lavender on my hands, being aware of the pain in my back, being aware of the breath entering my nose. Stepping into this moment, This perfect, wonderful moment where everything becomes still. It is in the stillness that healing occurs within my physical form, healing in my mental, healing in my soul, healing in my emotional. When I become still, become aware of myself and the space that I take up. And being okay with right where I am. I invite you now to come back into this conversation today when we talk about pets. I love my dog, Serafina. Those of y'all who have met Serafina know Serafina runs this show in this house because she is a tiny, tiny little energy. Serafina, come here. You're going to be a little star on TV. Yeah, come here. Come here, baby. Come on. Come on. Da, 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 da. There she is. Say hello. Hi. She is such a little cutie patootie. But let me just tell y'all something. Ooh, Winston Churchill. Oh, yes. My little baby here, when I am going through stuff like she's not feeling well right now, and I don't know what's going on with her, but we're going to send her lots and lots of love. Right, Serafina? Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll put her in a little bed. Okay. I think she wants out of the space. You want out? Oh, she does. Okay. Here you go. I think maybe the lavender was overwhelming. You know. But I honor that little tiny dog, because when I am really going through something, Serafina is the one that always knows how to come over and just sit. And it turns out pets do the same thing that humans do when babies are born. You know, when mom holds a baby for the first time and looks in the eyes of baby, there's oxytocin that's released. It's a hormone that makes you feel amazing. And that's just released. And pets do the same thing just by looking at you. Those little tiny eyes and a little button nose, and just looks at you. And you just oxytocin, oxytocin, oxytocin. Yeah. And that's where the healing occurs. So I have a special guest today, and she is a dear, dear friend, and she is also a nurse. And Cassie is her name, and she's going to be joining me today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yay. Hi. Serafina was not having a child.
Yeah, mine just ran into the other room. I was like, great. As soon as we go on, makes sense. They have their own personalities, don't they?
They do. And you know, I was like, Serafina was like, 2 drops of lavender, I am out of there.
Yeah. She's like, excuse me?
Too much. I was like, oh, she's just not feeling too good right now. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you.
Thank you for
It
having
feels
me.
like it's been forever since I've seen you. So you started traveling. Okay, first of all, let me just introduce this young lady. This is Cassie. The only time Winston comes over to give some love is when he wants a snack. He's driven by his stomach. I'm telling you, sometimes it's the only time we see Serafina is when there's food involved. You are her best friend.
I am bribing my cat with some salmon right now.
We'll see if it works. Pretend like you're typing. Pretend like... Oh my goodness. So this young lady, Cassie, we met working at Advent Health and just fell in love with her energy. And I felt like when you think about Florence Nightingale kind of nursing, I feel that that's what we bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And when I recognize other nurses that are like that are definitely going holistic with their way that they're treating their patients in a healthcare system that's just demanding so much of us all the time. Like you feel like you can never catch up. You're just running. For 12 hours, your body takes a beating, but then you meet somebody that's like, wait a minute, I recognize you. You're Florence Nightingale too. And then we have us laugh about it. And then we come up with ways to uplift each other while we're there in it. And that's how we met. And I said to you, girl, have you thought about just diving into holistic kinds of nursing? And you started saying, well, a minute now.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for having me, first and foremost. I was immediately attracted to your energy of your type of nursing as well. It's like, we go to the ends of the earth to exhaust ourselves for our patients because we love to do that. We treat mind, body, spirit, emotion, physical, all of the aspects of nursing are so important to us, that nursing never ends. So even whenever we go home, it's like we kind of have trouble breaking up work and home life because I could have done this. I should have done this. I wish I had more time to do this. We take it very personally because we love to love. And during COVID, it became extremely exhausting and really hard to put ourselves first. Nursing's always been a very stressful job, but it's hard to make yourself a priority during those times where someone else needs you more. That's your mindset. Someone else needs me more. So I'm going to work. You come home, you're exhausted. Thankfully so, I have my furry companion who actually travels with me. So I am that crazy cat lady. If I can get her over here. So I am a travel nurse, and I travel to different states, different hospitals whose needs are so overwhelming that their staff cannot handle it appropriately. So then they hire other nurses to come in, and that is where me and Donna come into play. So my companion travels with me. She has been to Texas. She has been to Wisconsin. She has been not as far west as we want to go yet, but she provides that constant love every single night. It's like whenever you walk into the hotel room and you are in an unfamiliar environment, she's the familiarity. Yeah. She never fails to come up. Of course, she can only love on you as long as what she wants to love you for. But that constant just deep breath, the increase of the serotonin, like you were talking about, your oxytocin, you're stimulating your happy hormone, you're decreasing your blood pressure. And, that companionship really makes a difference. And all they want is admiration, and they provide such a purposeful relationship, especially for me. So that is what let me go grab her.
Well, let's see if she lets you. If she lets you.
So she is a fat little fluffy ball of sass.
Look, she said that's right. Her little mouth said that's right.
How much salmon do I get for this? But yes, this is my baby. She goes hiking sometimes whenever we have free days off. But for me,
so what exactly does she live in? Like when you're out and about with her? Like,
she has
what do you put her in? Like
it is. It's like imagine a spaceship. It's a bubble. It's a backpack, but it has a see-through bubble on the front of it. Has your air pockets, and she loves it. She's nosy, and so as long as she can see what's going on, she's super content.
Oh my goodness!
She's so funny. She is so funny.
Serafina's pretty funny too, and she's getting older now, and so we used to travel with Serafina, and right now Serafina is not. She's not having it. Yeah. She's not. She doesn't travel well in the car anymore, and I thought, oh, well, she is turning 13 this month, and so I thought, she's an old lady, so I thought I could put certain things in place because if I was an old lady and crotchety, I would not want to go traveling. Exactly. I want to be like, just let me rest my bones, give me some food. I'm good,
Yeah, cater to me. Hey, I've done my dirty work. Yeah. Now you get to cater to me.
And thank goodness we have a wonderful tribe of people who help us in our journeys. Because every time we go on a travel assignment, we usually have to call our kids and be like, "Hey, can you Serafina sit?"
Right.
Because
I do recall.
with the pets, they would not let us bring pets. A
Really?
lot of the Airbnbs I found would not allow pets, but it was a dog as opposed to a cat.
I have noticed a couple hotels, unless my animal is crated, they have restrictions upon coming in and cleaning and stuff, but nothing I haven't been able to work through so far.
Okay.
But that, I guess that is the difference between a dog and a cat as well.
Yeah.
I definitely remember your little guard dog. Whenever I last came to visit, she is a macho little lady.
She is something else. And I think what I love the most about her is that she just kind of tells you in this low kind of growl, you know, most people miss it because it's so small.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out so little and sometimes and they don't pay attention. And when they don't pay attention, they're just down there. Oh, we're friends now. No, we're not. It's like, I've had enough. You got to stop. And, you know.
Yep.
So would you say is like the most important thing when you have to say like the one thing that your Miss Kitty, what's her name? Pumpkin. What Miss Pumpkin does. When you're most vulnerable and you really, let's say you had like a shitty day. You know the ones I'm talking about where your whole everything is going, I'm just gonna call in and just never go back ever.
Right.
Yes.
She's an energy reader.
Mm-hmm.
She knows exactly what happens throughout my day, and she will sit on my chest, and her purrs actually act as like a vibration of just breaking up my anxiety for me. And the vibration it releases, and it honestly is so therapeutic to me. And she just knows. I mean, it doesn't happen every single night, but those days that I am just like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I can't even show up tomorrow morning. You know, she crawls right up. She'll lay her head, and her body is getting a little heavy now, but yeah, she purrs, and they're so loud and they're vibrationy, and they break it all up, and they allow me to just almost center where I'm feeling and allow just more blood flow, more circulation. Mm-hmm. She really is. She is the reason why I'm healthier, you know, gives me a sense of purpose. And like I said, she's an energy recognizer. She knows what's up.
Yep.
Even with people or situations, she knows what's going on.
So do you think that she kind of reads when people come into the home? I find that Serafina wants to buffer what energy comes into the home. Like if somebody comes into the home and they feel a certain way, they're like, wait a minute, something's not right here. This is going to be a little draining. And she'll put herself between me and that energy, whatever that may be. Yeah, when I come home from a specific like horrible shift, and I'm just like, oh my God, and everything inside of me. I mean, you know the ones I'm talking about where you're crying like in tears, and you just like, I'm gonna call out. But then you think about your comrades in arms and how horrible their day is gonna be even worse if you call up. And you're thinking about them, you feel so bad. And you're like, I guess I could sacrifice myself.
I guess I could do it.
I could do it. And your whole everything is saying, don't do it.
You're screaming. You're literally screaming.
Alarms are going off, and you're like, maybe I should take a sick day. I mean, we have had days where unless we see a fever, we are going to drag ourselves out of the bed. I mean, I'd be like sick as a dog, like, what am I doing? And then Norma have to step in and be like, listen, no. And I'm telling you, Serafina be the one right there up in the bed with me, like, looking at me like, you know you ain't going.
Yeah, you should not do this.
And you feel the energy like, what am I doing? I'm not taking care of my body. And it's almost like they push themselves up on you when you're not doing it and be like,
Oh, yeah.
pay attention to me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can agree. And they're so empathetic. I mean, they really do. They feel you. They feel you. And they do. They force you in and out of certain situations, but it's for the better. They absolutely give you the reason and the opportunity sometimes to just better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even whenever we are stubborn, women and men wanting to just make ourselves guilty for taking care of ourselves. I definitely know my little fluff ball is there to have my back and force me into those situations of, you need a rest day, girl. You do too much.
They lounge. They do the lounge thing so well.
I'm so jealous.
But you know what? I'm learning to do this more. I'm learning to allow for that pack mentality. I was like, what is with Serafina? She's got this beautiful little bed that her fairy godmother got her. Bed. And she has this wonderful thing. It's supposed to help with stress. And we're thinking, oh, this is wonderful. Because, a girl is got some menopausal stuff going on. I can't be held down in this bed by a dog.
I'm hot.
I'm hot.
Yes.
I'm trying to get up. And the dog just wants nothing to do with the wonderful bed that was purchased for her well-being. She wants to be on the bed. And I've come to the conclusion that it's got to be a pack thing. Like, maybe she feels like she's part of the pack if we're all together in the same spot.
Very true. Well, I know you don't go to the bathroom by yourself. I know Serafina is probably all around your feet. Like, hey, Mom, you going to go pee by yourself?
No, actually, she's gotten over it.
She's
gotten over that. And now she kind of just stands by the door to make sure that I'm not deciding to run away.
Sure, you're not going to fall in. Serafina's got you.
Yes, exactly. But I think that's the piece there that I'm like, how are they? It's like they kind of take you on as their pack master or something like that. And then once they do that, they're like, okay, let's take care of this pack leader. So this pack leader is taken care of.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I have to step into that part of myself that's the mom. Like, this is not what we're doing outside.
We're not the boss.
She tries. Oh man, does she? Oh, she snaps that little.
They are such a gift.
The gift that keeps on giving. So, has there ever been a time, and we're about to go on to a little bit of a break here, and usually we do our little commercial break at like 8:30, but we might actually finish the show early. But I want to come back to this. Like, have you ever had a time where you did not have Princess with you, Pumpkin with you?
Trying to think. I would go work. I worked a job in Florida over in Jacksonville. So about 2.5 hour drive. I would try and work consecutive days. So I would just go get a hotel there and then come back on my days off. And I would go home after those shifts, and I was lonely. And it could have been other aspects of life as well, but I was lonely. And it was like I carried my work home even more because I had the time to think and to ponder. And I've made such growth, not only in a companionship with her, but, we talk about how our pets give back to us. I have grown so much as a person in the last 1.5 years that I have had her, so like I said, it could have been other life situations going on as well. But since having her and actually bringing her with me, it doesn't matter what happens throughout the day. I'm able to go home and be greeted with that consistent love, admiration, the purrs, she's funny. She rolls over right on her back and she's so fat and fluffy. And she's like, here I am. She's at my belly now. And she's just, her personality is so funny. And I could not imagine traveling to an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people and surroundings and, oh God, where do I eat? What's a good place? Oh gosh, this is a crappy hotel. How do I get out of here? But traveling with a companion, has just made my experiences just 10 times better. Absolutely.
So, yeah, let's talk about that because I traveled without my companion to the West. So let's go ahead and do our quick little commercial break and then come right back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let's do that. Let's go on a quick little break. We'll be right back, y'all.
Sounds good.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Like so far here at the Transformation Vacation?
To say transformational is not quite big enough. It has been so amazing. The people have been amazing. The food, the beaches are exactly what you expect them to be. You can see through it. I went snorkeling and saw starfish and all kinds of beautiful fish. It's been amazing. And most importantly, everyone who said yes to this has just been inspirational and really just a connection has been made that will last a lifetime.
It will. It
Yes.
so will.
It will.
So I can't wait to see y'all next time. Come on to Jamaica, man. Don't forget,
Yeah, man. Come on to Jamaica.
I love it. Okay, and that commercial that had positively inspiring on it, there are not truer words to describe you and the work that you do, not only for yourself, but for other nurses and other healthcare workers and just your friends. You guys promote such a positive, safe place for people to come, learn about themselves, grow with themselves. And I've seen the transformation in myself just throughout the last couple of years I've known you guys. And thank you so much for being who you are, so naturally beautiful inside and out.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
Not to get off topic, but it was definitely a moment to just
I'm telling you.
who you really are. I
We
mean,
are doing the damn thing, right? The phoenix has been rising,
yes,
man.
it is rising.
Just
Just
soaring.
it's so uplifting in everything that you do. So thank you from myself and others who have been given the opportunity to be blessed by you guys. So thank you for all that you guys do.
Thank you so much. We
You
super
are
love you, girl.
so
You know,
welcome.
and like I said, we felt like, oh my God, it's another one like us. Yay, tribe,
Yes.
When we meet each other and we're like, finally somebody who gets it. And it's nothing bad about the others who are just in the tasking of it all. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just show up, do my job, blah, 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 I'm done.
Right.
And it's like bare minimum. I just don't have the heart for it because there is always that one person that has nobody else. And they are so grateful. And they're like, thank you so much. Or that one family member that just is like, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what to say. You nurses are godsend. When somebody is in their vulnerable space, we want to show up. I want to give of everything up.
Yep.
But when I go home, I have to recharge. If I do not, oh my goodness, my body just revolts against me. And that is why we have to take care of ourselves. Self-love is not being selfish. Now, today we're talking about pets, that aspect of caregiving that is one of the tools that actually helps to replenish your energy. And Cassie is my girl here, and she travels everywhere with her baby. Has there everywhere been a time where you did not have Miss Funkin with you?
So I had gone to Jacksonville, Florida on an assignment that was close enough to home where I could come home on my off days.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of those times, after leaving work, it was hard for me to separate my personal life from my work life. I would go home and just kind of fester what I could have done better, what I should have done. There's not enough time in the day to just give yourself to every single person of every need. It's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And as just a natural, compassionate person, I want to give myself in my all. Like, I'm not going to show up to work and half-ass anything. It's not in my being.
Mm-hmm.
So you go home exhausted, and it's like, if you don't spend the time, like you said, to replenish yourself, it just boils over and boils over. But since then, I have been traveling with her and feel myself sleeping better. I feel myself going home in a better mood. Like, I know in that hotel room, whenever I get home, she's going to be happy to see me. She's going to be there for me. We're going to play. We're going to cuddle. We're going to go to sleep. And we had already kind of touched base on it, but she recognizes bad days, good days, so she's my healer. She helps anxiety. I know for a fact I can feel just my deep breath and just the lowering of my blood pressure. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I'll ever travel again without her. But that time I did recognize a huge difference in not having, someone to go home to that's thankful for your presence. They are just, their love never fails.
Yeah. And for me, I think is with Serafina and how Serafina does it, it's the fact that if I was alone, like I touched on before, I went to Key West for a little bit, for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of that assignment, did not have anybody in the hotel room with me. And after 2 days, I said, oh my gosh, I felt alone, which then triggered my anxiety.
Absolutely.
Which was just really louder. It's so much louder.
Yes.
And so I said, oh my gosh, I need something living and breathing in this space with me so I don't feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
Where my physical form doesn't go through this fight or flight thing.
Right.
And I went to the store, to Publix, and I got in a little pot a plant.
Yes.
Yes. And my little plant is sitting inside the big room in here at Your Phoenix is Rising, and she's got the throne seat because everybody gets to see her, how awesome and fabulous she is. Little money plant. I didn't even know she was a money plant when I got her, but I picked that one, and that was the one that hung out with me. And I talked to her, and I put her in different spaces and she told me when she liked it by growing.
Yes.
And just having another living, breathing being in the space, another point of consciousness, I feel.
Yes.
Having another point of consciousness in the room with you feels a little more, a little less scary for me.
It is scary for sure.
Yes. When Serafina is there, I have woken up in the middle of the night, like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And emotional support animals do this. You wake up in the middle of the night, panicked. And then I look over and she nuzzles like right underneath my hand. Like, oh, if this was a panic situation, honey, you better believe I'd be barking.
Right.
There would be something. But if you are relaxed, you then say, oh, wait, the dog's not barking. Yeah. She just kind of looks at me like and licks me a little bit and goes back to sleep. Nothing is wrong. Okay.
And you trust their intuition.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because my intuition has a little bit of a glitch that is called my anxiety. My intuition comes through the clouded mirror that is my anxiety. Yes. And so sometimes I cannot trust my own stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. I bring the stuff from the work home.
Absolutely.
You know, many times I've thought about maybe I should pick up the phone and call and make sure the patient's okay.
I
do
I
everything.
called and I'm like, oh, hey, check this person's IV. I can't remember the date on it, but I think it was like more than 3 days old. You know, like you drive yourself nuts. You do.
You really do. And then of course you get home and you're like, why am I hurting
Or whenever you go to sleep,
everywhere?
whenever you sleep, you dream about it. You know, you don't get that
The
restful.
beeping, the endless beeping.
The dreams, and they're so vivid. I've woken up before. I'm like, oh my God, was their blood pressure really that low? You know, but it's like, and then whenever you have a bad day and you don't decompress, sometimes you have that trouble of, was that a dream? Was that real life? And I mean, you can drive yourself literally crazy as a nurse if you don't have a healthy outlet. And you had mentioned earlier, and I want to kind of bring back up, you're like, oh, well, we're kind of selfish if we take time for ourselves. And that's the mentality of, well, your team needs you. Those patients need you. Well,
Yes.
if I'm at 20%, what am I good to anybody else? You know, like I have to at this point. Like I could be a patient tomorrow. Like, just I'm here. Okay. You don't want me like this. So I mean, it's kind of.
See, that's the thing. But then you're giving the impression that they do want you like that. We can take whatever you got, whatever little fumes you got, we'll take it. It's better than nothing.
Absolutely. You're like, I just want a living, breathing person. Actually, if you're just even half living, that's cool too. I mean, half living, quarter breathing, it's
And
good.
then you get there and you get floated.
Yep. Oh yeah. And it is so unfamiliar. You know, the unfamiliarity is triggering. It's like, what if I don't know where this is? What if I don't know where that is? And it's so time critical. Everything is a priority in nursing. And you're kind of put on edge every single day. And you try and do your best. Will it ever be good enough?
Until you ask.
You know, and then you go home.
The day that you had. Depends on the patient load.
You say you've done your best, and that's really at the point that that's all we can say. You know, did you have a good day? I did my best, you know, and that's to the point where we're at. But then you come home to, oh, well, this is familiar. It's like, oh, okay, I'm better.
Yes.
I'm better now.
Yeah. It starts at the tree. It starts at grandmother tree for me.
Oh, she's so welcoming.
Oh man, I pull in and I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, I don't care if there's any lizards on the tree. I'm just gonna touch the tree. I'm just gonna give it a little tiny touch. Or just being in her presence, just it feels like it siphons off of me. And this is what I'm talking about. All these different things that we live in tool belt. We talked about nature before. And what that does to us. And I'm talking about, yes, we can go into the research of it all. I'm talking about things that I tried myself. People told me try it. I did it and it worked and it helped me with my anxiety. And I'm sitting here unmedicated and working through this thing called life and navigating it. And I recognize that more of us need help. And when I find some stuff that works, I'm going to bring it to the rest of y'all with a flaming torch.
Ma'am.
Because we got to get through this stuff together. We got to get through it together. And I realize that pets work for some of us. Like Norma, she's like, no, I got nothing.
I got therapy and I ain't trying nothing else. We're good.
She's a Seraphina person.
She is.
That's it. That's the extent of it. We tried with cats before and it didn't work out.
They're not for everybody, and that's okay. That is okay.
Yeah, but you know, for me, not, and God bless her, she is working on going into nature. That's not, you know, she helped me out in the garden a tiny bit today, and it was great because I needed 2 hands, and I have that big phobia against lizards. So moving those stones, I knew that was going to be a thing, and she came out and she rescued me.
Yes.
You know? So I think that. And Seraphina, she does that too. She comes out. I am in a PTSD moment about a lizard. and she comes out and she and just her little presence running around scares them away, and they run away, and then the space is open for Donna to come in and not be scared.
And you knew that. You knew.
And I knew that. And I tell her thank you so much for the awesome job that she does.
Mm-hmm.
And she lives her best little doggy dog life. And people are like, I can't believe she's almost 13. And I'm like, yo, and she still looks like a puppy and acts like a puppy and bites like a people. Y'all pray for me. I'm like, please don't put your hand down there. This dog will bite you. Please don't.
She's territorial. She loves her mamas.
And please don't put your hand down there. I warn people, and sure enough, they're like, "Oh, well, I don't care." And I'm like, "Okay." It doesn't hurt her, nothing like that, but it still surprises them. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she nipped." I'm like, "I told you she's gonna do it."
I tried to tell you.
You were friends last time. You're not friends today.
Right. It's all
sometimes.
It's her world, guys. This is Serafina's world.
Mm-hmm. All right. So in talking about these awesome pets and all these little energy centers that gives us some sense of love, I think that's what it is. That unconditional love, like just pours out of them. So when you come from a space of a place like the hospital, we both work bedside. Y'all, this is not easy work.
No.
It sucks. And when you come out of there and people are demanding and you are just like, oh my God, I did everything I could. I ran here, I ran there. I did everything I could. And I just feel like I'm going to fall at the feet of my bed and not move again until maybe 2:00 in the morning. But there's certain things you got to do, like, oh, I don't know, take care of children.
Right.
Or maybe eat food.
Yeah.
And do all this stuff. And then there's this little center of unconditional love that shows up and says, you did a good job. I really missed you. Come pet me and slow down for a moment.
Forget about the rest for a minute. Just rub my belly.
My fur.
Let's ground ourselves.
Oxytocin go through you. Let that feel good thing happen. Oh, look at this cute little thing I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my little paw. Look at this little thing that I'm doing. And you just go from to aw.
Like, and I'm right now, I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, oh.
And you get these little, it almost feels like this, like little bubbles on your skin. For those people who don't get that from pets, I am so sorry. Like, I feel like my wife is so missing out, but she gets it a tiny bit. And
she gets enough.
She gets enough. She gets what she needs. She gets what she needs. Yes.
That is what she needs.
And she also gets the oxytocin. She's like, yeah, I get it.
I wonder if pets know. So like me and you, we need a little more. We're not as tough as normal. We can flat out say that we're not as tough as she is. I wonder if pets know that. If they're like, ooh, this person needs more of me. Let me just be more present with them, and then just give enough where it's needed.
And I think that they do. But here's what's interesting. Recently, Serafina has been choosing Norma over me. And she's always like up her. See, Norma's again playing. She will not leave her alone. She will not leave her alone. To the point where at one point we're like, oh my God, is something wrong with Norma?
Norma,
like,
are you okay?
Like in her face, like something's going on. Like she does that with me when I'm not well.
Right.
But we haven't quite figured out what she's doing with Norma yet. So I'm sure she's gonna tell us whatever that is.
Oh, she will.
Yeah, we've been talking to her and trying to figure that out, but she's been loving on her a lot lately.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna give her some more salmon. Come here. Come make your final debut. Come on. She's like, excuse me. I have food.
She's like, I know you're trying to goad me. I'm not doing it. I know exactly what's going down. I know exactly what's going down.
Mm-hmm.
So usually we talk about where can we learn more about this tool? Well, where can you learn more about pets? Humane Society, I think, is you know, the number one place we used to get pets for kids. And you know what's really cool? I have friends that have uh, emotional support bunnies.
Oh,
Yeah, they're so cute. Oh my gosh. It's like next level, these bunnies.
oh,
And teaching them how to stay in hands and to kids who are going through anxiety, you
mhm,
know, PTSD, that sort of thing, to kind of snuggle and do that kind of thing up close because it's the up close snuggle that sometimes does it.
right. Well, like her, the vibration. It's
Mm-hmm.
the vibration for me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and if pets didn't work, nursing homes have like pet days. They bring in
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
college, they would bring in dogs during finals week. Little
Oh.
puppies, little baby puppy bulldogs. We were the bulldogs. Go dogs. And I mean, we were the happiest people.
Mm-hmm.
Just forgetting all about the exams we just failed. Just loving on the puppies. If it didn't work, I mean, it's people use it as a therapeutic response
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm. The goat yoga, that's like a thing now. That's like a big thing. This goat yoga. Have you seen that stuff? Where you
Go-
do yoga and there's goats, like little baby goats climbing on you and stuff. Yes, look it up. It's a thing. I swear to you, it's a thing. Yes. And
I
people
will-
are saying that you just can't take yourself too seriously when
Right.
there's a goat right there.
Huh.
So, you know how people get lost in their head? They have to stay present. Because
Right.
the baby
Oh, I
goes
see.
everywhere. They have
Right.
to stay present and they can't get in their head too much
Hmm.
because the goats will come over and start doing stuff and bring you right back grounded.
For me, it's hard to meditate because I'm thinking, what do I do tomorrow? What bill is due? When do I work next? You know, I got to go to the grocery. You know, it's hard for me to stay present. So I may have to look into that. Just have a goat just butt you in the head out of nowhere and be like, "Excuse me."
I
I'm
think
gonna
they
keep
just
you
kind of climb
accountable.
all over you and stuff, but that's actually a thing. And I thought that would be interesting. But I have this thing about goat. They're delicious. From Jamaica. And we eat curry.
Oh, that is your all's
We
thing.
raise them for
Yes.
food. Yes, we raise them for food. So it's
Hmm.
a little different for me. And I always love to try something at least once.
Sure.
I love yoga and I love goats. I've had some pet goats in my lifetime, but it's our connection to goats have always been a little different. So I'm okay with, with pet goats and how that works. But here in America, I'm very, I'm aware that's, it's sensitive. But that's kind of cool too. And where else can we learn more about these pets? Let's see. I know that I have considered when Grizzly was living with us, I had considered having a therapy relationship where we bring animals into the hospital
Mhm.
because
Oh,
I've noticed a lot of patients will say, I miss my dog, I miss my cat,
right.
and I've had to break out the Serafina pictures.
Right. Absolutely.
And
Yes.
then they break out their pictures. And then we talk about which animal
You
has what.
form special bonds from it too.
Yes, and suddenly this person who won't be compliant with anyone else is no longer giving me a hard time because we've made a
Right.
connection through her animals.
You form that understanding as a pet mom, dad. You know, you really do. You form a very understanding a rapport from it. Most people, they're like, oh yeah, I've got a dog and a cat. You're like, oh, you're already a good person. You know, you're not selfish. You know, like you are a selfless, just good person. You know, if your dogs haven't ate you in your sleep and your cat hasn't clawed you to death, then they think you're good too. I
I
trust
mean, there's some people who own pets that really should not own pets, and
Yeah,
they're owning them for the
there
wrong
are
reasons, and they're
circumstances.
actually harming them. But most pet owners who actually, the ones who are pet owners, and for them, their pets are their baby,
They
or
are.
that's their another child, or
Mhm.
whatever, their partner. For some people, it's their partner.
You're right.
I feel that if I did not have a great love in my life in my bed with me every night, having that little energy center, there's sometimes where Norma was gone to work and I was home alone and I have to sleep, when I was working night shift. And I
Mhm.
remember that feeling of, at least I'm not by myself.
It's
I'm
yeah,
not by
it's hard.
myself. I'm not by myself. And Seraphina's right there. She's just kind of, you're not by yourself. And all the crazy in my head kind of dims down a little bit. Because it's not that suddenly my anxiety went away. Like people think that you come into this beautiful enlightenment, blah, 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 and you're into consciousness, and then suddenly the anxiety goes away. Oh no, honey, we still experience the anxiety. The difference is now when we experience it, we say, well, what triggers this?
Mm-hmm.
What does this remind me of?
Mm-hmm.
What work did I do around it? Oh, here's an opportunity for more shadow work. Let me.
You can acknowledge it as a feeling versus it's present, I'm overwhelmed. It's okay.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so that's the thing. For those of us who are connecting to a more, okay, let's go into the more holistic part of it. Let's allow our human body to heal itself, our human soul to heal itself, our human emotional body to heal itself. Let us try to get there as much as we can, and with the help of Western medicine when needed, with the help of naturopathic medicine or natural medicine when needed, with the help of meditation, with the help of all this other stuff. Let us become aware of the energy center that we take up, and then say, okay, how can we replenish that so that we can show up with our best self for that person laying in the bed?
Right.
Or for the mother who is now in dementia land that is trapped, or for the child who depends on you for every single tiny thing, or else they will die. Essentially, they would starve to death. Or, you know, a partner who is so ill and cannot take care of themselves, or for kids that you're a teacher of them children right there that show up in my classroom tomorrow, and I know they're hungry. Now, how can I take care of me so that I can show up and be this person that shows up as the hero for someone else? And we can do this, some of us, by tapping into that part of us that's connected to animals and allowing for them to help siphon some of that from us, allowing for them to help us feel that and give us a different feeling. Instead of feeling the adrenaline, we now feel oxytocin, and we start to heal so that we can then show up to be the oxytocin for others.
Okay.
And that's why we nurse. Let's see if she decides to come back with us. If there were any questions, oh my goodness, it was so nice to talk to you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So much fun. Wayne says, I do not want a pet. Yeah, Norma said, but hey,
Same.
Not everybody wants a pet, and it's okay. Again, these are all different tools that we give you on Caring for Caregivers. You take that little tiny bit that may work for you, plug it into the laboratory of your life, look at it. If it doesn't work for you, if you know right away pets is not your thing, move on, child. Don't even spend no time. But if you say, well, I've considered it in the past, maybe I should think about adopting a dog or a cat or a pig or I don't know, whatever, inserts whatever animal here. Whatever makes your soul feel connected to the rest of the big, big world, do that. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Aww, bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate you so much, Cassie. I can't wait to hear so much more of your adventures.
We will be adventuring. We will keep you updated.
Yes, definitely. And we will follow you on Facebook because I do that all the time, child. I'll be following you.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much again for having me. I'm so blessed with your all's friendship, and I can't wait to see where you guys grow as well. Keep me updated.
Thank you. And one of these times you got to come to Jamaica with us. You got to come experience Jamaica with us because we are all about, talk about the Phoenix Rising. Child, we do that in Jamaica too. This is Tingalea's, by the way. Ooh, that's our yoga room.
Oh, that's an actual picture from Jamaica?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
That is our yoga room. We go into that room, we bring our Tibetan bowls and we play them and we do, and the whole thing is nothing but windows and you're in the forest and surrounded by the trees and it's just gorgeous. And then of course you step right across the little pathway and you're at the ocean. It's incredible. I'm just so excited about it. And I can't wait to go again in October, the last week of October. So thank you all so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, that was
Once again,
that
I-
intuitive thing that I did. What is that about?
well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Stay blessed, my dear.
So, Kathy, what's the experience been like so far here at the Transformation Vacation?
To say transformational is not quite big enough. It has been so amazing. The people have been amazing. The food, the beaches are exactly what you expect them to be. You can see through it. I went snorkeling and saw starfish and all kinds of beautiful fish. It's been amazing. And most importantly, everyone who said yes to this has just been inspirational and really just a connection has been made that will last a lifetime.
It will. It
Yes.
so will.
It will.
So I can't wait to see y'all next time. Come on to Jamaica, man. Don't forget, yeah, man.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.